Howdy, I'm Trevor from the Mark Tank, and this is how I would book the Royal Rumble 2025 from start to finish. And the ending I booked is insane, so you're going to want to stick around. Now, this will only cover the men's Royal Rumble, and it is stacked this year. Most Royal Rumbles have a bunch of filler spots, where they clearly just needed to fill numbers meaninglessly to get up to 30, shoving in a bunch of guys that have no chance of winning and no real storyline. But I don't think that is the case this year. Actually, there are too many hot stories and wrestlers in the WWE right now. I had to cut some names down to get down to 30. It's a good problem to have. So before we begin, here's some guys that are not in it. Man, I would love to see AJ Styles, but I haven't seen anything indicating that he's ready to come back. They've been pretty shady about his injury. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think he's in it. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, I just didn't have room for them, and I didn't really have a great storyline to attach them to in the match, so they're not in my booking, but I won't be surprised if they're both in it. Randy Orton is not in the match, although I do think he will appear on the show. Hint, hint. Same goes for Kevin Owens. I don't have him in it, but he'd get pull double duty. I left out Shinsuke, Andrade, and Carmelo, who, in my little booking world, are going to be booked in a triple threat match for the U.S. title. Seriously, give those guys like 20 minutes and let them cook. But, again, don't be surprised if they're in the match. Okay, the other important note for the show I'm booking is that it's going to be clearly established beforehand that The Rock is not in the Rumble. I would have him put out a social media video, as he does, where he confirms he will be in attendance at the Rumble, but he's not in the match. He wants to let the young guys have their time, and then I would have him open the show with a promo, announcing that it's the largest Royal Rumble gate ever, promoting the WWE, blah blah blah, just like he did at the Raw on Netflix debut, kind of a nothing promo. I just think it needs to be established that he is not in the match, so there isn't any disappointment when he doesn't appear. We've seen it before. That's the best way to kill the entire vibe of a Rumble, right at the end, when the guy they're expecting at number 30 doesn't come out, and the whole crowd just dies. But we are not done with The Rock there. I would also have a backstage segment in between matches somewhere in the middle of the show. It shows The Rock walking around, shaking hands, telling jokes, having a fun time. He shakes hands with Cody Rhodes again, looking more like The Rock than the final boss, if you know what I mean. But then his face gets serious, and he turns and walks into a room, and when the door closes behind him, the sign on the door says TKO Board of Directors. Okay, it's finally Rumble time, and this is the main event of the evening. The first entrant is Dirty Dominic Mysterio. He's going to be our Iron Man, folks. I'm sorry, I just love Dom. He's doing such great heel work, I want to reward him with a good run. And who's number 2? Uh-oh, it's Daddy Rey Mysterio. So for the first little bit of the match, Rey can beat up on Dom until we get a very quick interference from JD and Carlito to give Dom the upper hand. Number 3 is a pissed-off Scottish psychopath who took a bad loss on the Raw on Netflix debut. He comes to the ring and raises hell. He takes Dom's head off with a claymore, and Dominic rolls out of the ring for a while. Drew also clears out JD and Carlito pretty quick. Rey isn't afraid of him, though. Nearly catches Drew off guard with a quick Hurricane Rana off the top rope, almost sending Drew out, but he hangs on. Number 4 is Jey Uso to get a big crowd pop, get a few yeets in, and then sprint down to the ring to meet Drew McIntyre, and they continue fighting out their beef. Number 5 is Ludwig Kaiser, who has been on such a good run lately, I really think he deserves this spot in the Rumble. Number 6 is Jimmy Uso. The brothers team up on Drew, but he's able to survive for the time being. At this point, Rey Mysterio heads to the top rope to take out both Usos, but Dirty Dom appears from the floor, crawls up, pushes Rey off to eliminate his dad, and then Dom slips right back to the outside to play dead. Michael Cole goes off about what a coward Dom is laying on the outside. Pat McAfee says, "There's no rules in the Rumble, Cole," or however Pat McAfee sounds. Out comes number 7, and oh no, it's the monster among men. Braun is a freight train that launches Kaiser like he's a damn frisbee out of the ring. We can have Braun and Drew face off and the crowd will pop. Braun should get the better of him here because he's fresher, but Drew stays in the match. At number 8, we've got Chad Gable. He comes to the ring hot and delivers a German suplex to everybody, including the giant Braun Strowman. That'll be awesome. Sometime around here, Drew McIntyre is going to eliminate both Jimmy and Jay in rapid succession, back to back. Jay beat Drew on Raw on the Netflix debut. Drew needs to get his lick back here and look strong. And also, I like this Drew storyline we've got going on where he's picking off and targeting the members of the Bloodline, really anyone that has been friends with Roman Reigns. And so I think this is a perfect play for him to wipe these two out. It's a sad early exit for Jimmy and Jay, but it tells the good story. Right after that happens, number 9 is Sami Zayn, who also has a problem with Drew McIntyre, and he's just seconds too late to save the Usos, so he's all on his own, but he squares off with Drew McIntyre anyway. He's not afraid. Number 10 is Kofi Kingston. I would have him come out with a microphone, once again trying to explain what happened with Big E, let the crowd boo him so much that he throws his hand in the air, gets rid of the mic, and enters the ring. I would also probably throw in a spot where you have him mock the crowd by making it look like he's going to do one of his classic Kofi Rumble moments, jump into the barricade or something crazy, but just to give the crowd the bird and say, I'm not your puppet anymore, and get right back in the ring. At number 11, we've got Finn Balor, who checks on Dom outside the ring, but Dom waves him off like, shh, don't give me away. So Finn gets in the ring. At around this time, I would have Braun get another elimination by throwing out Chad Gable. We got to make sure Braun looks like a monster. Number 12 is R-Truth. Now, I don't normally like comedy or wasted spots in the Rumble, but R-Truth is a national treasure, and I think we can make an exception here. So as Truth walks out, he walks by Chad Gable, he says, sorry, Kurt Angle's son, and then he gets in the ring, and Braun is standing in the middle staring right at him. The announcers say, you're in danger, Truth, you gotta get out of there. Truth looks surprised, but then gets the biggest smile on his face. He says, Big Show? Man, I missed you, and goes in and hugs Braun Strowman, who kind of pauses and looks down confused for a second, and then, of course, chucks Truth over the top rope and out of the match. Truth can get up and say, I thought we were cool, Big Show. I think it'd be a fun little spot, something to do with Truth. Number 13 is Solo Sikoa, and number 14 is Tama Tonga. They start controlling the match, even taking down Strowman, but not eliminating him. Number 15 is Xavier Woods, so the New Day is now complete. He also comes out with a microphone and gets drowned out by boos. Woods and Kofi work together with Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, and the 4 of them, getting booed out of the building, work together to eliminate Sami Zayn, building real heat on the 4 of them. Number 16 is Damian Priest, who has been watching the feed from backstage and is not dumb, so before he gets into the ring, he goes and grabs Dom laying outside and throws him into the ring. Damian gets in and runs roughshod, eliminating Finn Balor, but Dirty Dom comes up from behind and dumps Damian, who gets immediately jumped by Finn on the outside as Dom rolls out of the ring once again to play dead. Number 17 is our first massive pop of the night, and it might not happen, this might be wishful thinking, but please just let me have hope. Number 7 is Big E. Kofi and Woods cannot believe what they are seeing, and Big E comes in on fire. The crowd is going crazy, Big E's destroying everyone, and he eliminates both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods in the process. Big E is the only one standing in the ring for a moment. He'll get a standing ovation, he can tear up a little bit. Welcome back, Big E. Enjoy your moment. Number 18 is another big pop. It's CM Punk. He comes in and shakes Big E's hand and says, welcome back. Before they get to do much wrestling, though, Solo and Tama Tonga are up to beat up on both of them. Beating up a returning Big E and CM Punk at the same time is how you build some big-time heat. Number 19 is The Miz. He's also a veteran of being a coward, so he goes and grabs Dom and throws him in the ring, but Dom rolls right back out the other side. At number 20, we have the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. I said Dom is going to be our Iron Man, but Jacob Fatu is going to be our elimination leader. Just as The Miz was rallying all the faces in the ring to team up on Tama Tonga and Solo, Jacob flies to the ring and goes crazy on absolutely everyone, except his boys. Jacob is going to be cemented as a main event player here, as he is going to eliminate Braun Strowman and then Drew McIntyre back to back. How about that for a statement? The Miz is about to get tossed by Fatu as well, but he is saved by entrant number 21, Karrion Kross. At number 22, we have another big pop. This one, I think, is more likely than my Big E pipe dream. In fact, I don't just think, I believe. I believe in Joe Hendry. While this video is in production, man, WWE and TNA announced a partnership, so it just makes so much sense. Joe Hendry won the TNA Championship this last weekend at an event that was promoted by WWE. It's a crazy timeline. So I'm here for it. Stay tuned for another video on my WWE Cross TNA Dream Matches. Joe Hendry's going to come in hot. He's going to get a quick elimination on The Miz, which would be a fun crossover match itself. Just imagine those promos. At number 23, following the same tangent, I'm bringing in a legend. Again, this is probably unlikely, but if they were going to do a legend spot, I think this guy makes sense because of his TNA involvement, because he's been on Raw recently, and he's actually hinted at it on social media. It's John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL. Now, I hate when they bring out a legend just to get eliminated in 15 seconds. It's a wasted spot and feels disrespectful, So JBL's going to come out hot just like a normal entrant would. He's going to get his licks in. At this time, Dirty Dom saw an opportunity to sneak in the ring once again, this time to get a sneaky elimination on Big E, who's just teetering on the ropes. But right as Dom slides in to push Big E over the top, JBL meets him in the middle of the ring with the most vicious and wicked clothesline from hell of all time. I mean, I want it to look like he killed Dom in the middle of the ring. I'll have JBL's hot little run as he enters the Rumble be stopped by Joe Hendry, who he has issues with in TNA. That's a good storyline. And then Joe Hendry can get the elimination on Dom, who is hopefully dead from JBL, and that keeps building up our new TNA champ. It was a great run, Dominic, but you're not going to match your dad's longest Rumble time today. At number 24, we've got Penta. He needs to hit the ring hot as well. Being the first person to take Jacob Fatu off his feet the whole match is a good start, and then he can eliminate Karrion Kross. At 25, we have another TNA guy, and a huge pop for Nick Nemeth. Welcome home. I want him to use his Dolph Ziggler theme song to get that familiar pop. Michael Cole goes crazy. He says directly that Dolph Ziggler is his ring name in WWE, but his real name is Nick Nemeth, and he has been on fire in TNA and was recently their champion before losing it to that man, Joe Hendry. Nick eliminates Joe Hendry with the help of JBL, costing Hendry his big WWE moment and furthering that feud in TNA. It's now time for JBL to go, so I would have Tama Tonga start doing his weird rabid dog thing in the middle of the ring, and JBL and Nick Nemeth, who haven't been around, kind of pause for a moment, looking completely confused, like, who is this guy? Before JBL gets tossed by Jacob Fatu during the distraction. Number 26 is L.A. Knight. Yeah! And we continue the mini storyline we have seen with him having no fear of Jacob Fatu in the new bloodline. I mean, he does not care. So he goes right after them again and wipes them out. And now it's time for lucky number 27, and it is the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He delivers about 15 Superman punches when he enters and maybe 10 spears, wiping everyone out, and he eliminates Tama Tonga pretty quickly. Number 28 is Logan Paul, who eliminates Big E, generating just nuclear heat on Logan Paul. Number 29 is Seth Rollins, who stomps Logan Paul, and number 30 is John Cena. He has won from this position before, and I guess he used his veteran status to get the coveted spot number 30, but he's now in the Rumble. John hauls ass to the ring and cleans house. So now every entrant is in, and we are left with CM Punk, Jacob Fatu, Penta, Nick Nemeth, L.A. Knight, Roman Reigns, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. How is that for an all-star finale? So after Cena clears the ring, the only guy left standing is CM Punk. Everything slows down, and we get a CM Punk and John Cena face-off in the middle of the ring as the crowd goes berserk. Before they can get after it, though, they are jumped by Nick Nemeth and Solo. During the ensuing brawl, Nick Nemeth is going to be tossed out by L.A. Knight, who has a second burst of energy and has everybody saying, L.A. Knight, yeah! He's going to throw a mocking "you can't see me" at John Cena. He's going to mock Roman Reigns by pointing in the air. He's going to do a sleeping gesture at CM Punk. He don't care who these guys are. He's here to win the whole damn thing because it's his game. But of course, when somebody starts dominating the match, that means that they're next to go. And LA Knight, is eliminated by Seth Rollins. The next elimination is Logan Paul, who gets AA'd over the top rope by John Cena, who's truly on fire and has the crowd starting to believe that he is really going to do it. He's going to go get his 17th World Championship at WrestleMania. At this point, it's time for Roman and Solo to square off. With the help of Jacob Fatu, Solo gets the upper hand. He has Roman on the ropes, teetering, but they just can't get him over and out. Solo and Jacob both try to hit the ropes and get Roman over with a running clothesline, but he keeps hanging on. They just can't get him over. So at this point, as Solo holds Roman against the ropes, Jacob looks at Solo. I love you, Solo! And he runs full speed across the ring at the ropes, comes firing back like a bullet, and flies at Roman Reigns' crossbody, taking both of them over the top rope and out of the match. Jacob Fatu eliminates Roman Reigns, which is an eventual money match, while sacrificing himself for Solo. In this Rumble, Jacob Fatu eliminated Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. That is how you build a star. The next elimination is Penta, who gets put to sleep by CM Punk and tossed over the top rope. After him, John Cena eliminates an old rival, Solo Sikoa, and then there were 3. And what a final 3 it is. John Cena, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Punk and Rollins are feuding right now. Both of them have a separate history with John Cena, and any one of these 3 men is a believable winner. And then, on screen and on the Jumbotron, the Royal Rumble 10-second clock appears and starts ticking. Pat McAfee is confused. Michael Cole quickly gets on the mic. He says, "Sorry folks, I'm being told there's a technical error with the countdown clock, but this is our final 3. We have already had 30 men." The clock hits 0 and nothing happens. Michael Cole apologizes again for the error. He brings the attention back to the match. The 3 guys in the ring look confused for a second, but then go right back to brawling. Then, if you smell what the final boss is cooking. You've probably heard this idea on the internet, but it's just too good. I couldn't resist. The Rock makes his slow entrance. People's Championship in tow. He's not dressed like corporate Rock anymore. He's got the final boss flashy jacket on. He walks right by Solo without looking at him. Michael Cole says, "Oh, so this is why The Rock was meeting with the board of directors earlier. He's a shareholder of the company. He sits on the board, and he's forcing himself into the Rumble. This is crooked. It's an abuse of power." McAfee says, "That may be true, Cole, but I tell you what, this is awesome, and the final boss is about to whoop some ass." During the distraction, CM Punk dumps Seth Rollins. That feud is not over yet. The Rock gets to the ring. Punk and Cena look at each other, and then nod and go after The Rock together. But The Rock is fresh, and he's able to get out of an AA attempt, hit a spine buster on CM Punk, and then a rock bottom on John Cena, who he quickly tosses over the top rope. And just like at WrestleMania 40, The Rock points up the ramp. You can see him yelling, "Get the hell out of The Rock's ring." John Cena looks dejected on the outside. It's classic sad Cena. He really believed that he was going to do it. He had the crowd believing he was going to do it. But maybe he really isn't capable of becoming world champion again. CM Punk slowly gets up. He has been in the match for a long time now. We have our final 2, The Rock and CM Punk. The camera gets in close, and you can see a beaten up, bloody, angry CM Punk yelling at The Rock. "You are not going to steal another main event from me, Dwayne. This is my time." They go back and forth, trading blows. There's real hatred coming out of Punk. You can see it. But in the end, the final boss is the final boss, and The Rock eliminates CM Punk to take his WrestleMania main event from him once again. The Rock has won the Royal Rumble 2025. This sets up The Rock vs. Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, which is a match that has to happen. All of that playing nice was just for the cameras on the Netflix debut. The Rock didn't forget about the Cody crybabies and Mama Rhodes. Oh, that is a score that has to be settled. I would have The Rock win that match, leading eventually to the biggest match of the decade, The Rock vs. Roman Reigns, for the undisputed WWE Championship and the Ula Fala. So, that is how I would book the Royal Rumble. Let me know your thoughts down below. Give me a subscribe if you liked it. And Triple H, if you're watching, book it.